There's some things I wish were a little bit different, a little bit better. But it still ended on a good conclusion. And I'll probably fade into everybody's memory in a couple of seasons, which is kind of sad, because it's not the best series of the season, but it definitely tried to be something different, and it stood out. To me, Classroom Crisis definitely stood out with the way it used some of its characters to the politics, to the final scenes of this episode, or the series. It continued to impress me. And to see how it used some of these witty, politics scenes, like, how at the end of the episode where we thought the villains were going to win with, their side, like, oh, we own the X3, like, we own this now, and you can't do nothing about it. And, they were trying to do an entire political mind game. It was a great moment, because I thought that our characters lost. Like, I thought they lost. When I saw that final happy moment and all that, and then he's like, hey, I own the X3, you can't do shit about that. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then, it has an entire turnaround. Nagisa comes in, turns around, like, oh, no, we may lose this, but you just want Kaito. That's all you want. You don't want the X3. You want Kaito because of his knowledge and his, intelligence to be able to make more things in just 6 months. If there is a Season 2, which I highly doubt there'll be a Season 2 of Classroom Crisis, I'm definitely gonna watch it. And I don't know if this is anime original. I don't know. I don't really know if this is anime original or not. But the conclusion leaves me satisfied. I'm satisfied. I think I don't need to see any more of Classroom Crisis to not be satisfied. There's only a couple things I'm kind of upset with. Not finding out the full name of Nagisa. Not Irisu, but, Nagisa. I want to know more. But besides that, the only thing besides slight few romance couples trying to get conclusions to that, along with seeing the, epilogue of how their company fares in the market, I'm satisfied with the conclusion. And I really couldn't ask for more. There's not many anime that can leave me on a good note to where I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied, I don't need no more. I don't need to have another 3 to 5 other seasons just to be able to conclude something and feel satisfied. I think Classroom Crisis, even though there's some things I wish were added, it's a great ending, and I couldn't ask for more. And I think majority of you could probably agree with me with that. I think we'd rather have this end on one season than have a rushed mess of maybe a Season 2 or Season 3 that ruins all development, and you're like, ooh, it's just throwing in this, this struggle and this, interference with the characters just to have a season. I don't want something like that to happen. So to see how this ended, I think it was good. Yeah, it was good. But there was a couple of things the way this episode ended that makes you think there might be a Season 2, because there was quite a few setups for a Season 2. But I don't know if the company is wanting to go that direction. Maybe they wanted to leave their cards on the table, and they're like, if the series sells well and it does well right now, and, the DVDs sell well, and, it does well online through Crunchyroll and stuff, maybe we might make a Season 2. Maybe that's where they're going with, and maybe that's why they kind of threw these certain things in this episode for a possibility of a Season 2, probably because there is an option open, like a window. If it does do well, they can make a Season 2. So that's not entirely bad. I mean, they left it open enough to be able to expand upon it, but they closed it enough to where you can be satisfied and never have to worry for another season. So when it does that, it did a very good job. There's not many anime I watch every season that could end on a way Classroom Crisis did. There's so many anime I watch that end on an open finale, and you're like, ugh, I want to know fucking more. And that's a good and bad thing, because there might not ever be a continuation, so that's what really upsets me. And so to see how Classroom Crisis, ended like it did, good job. There were some parts that were rather boring. There was some cliche fan service things that I just didn't like in some points of the series, just because it wasn't my cup of tea. But it did get back on track in the second half. The series had a slow first half. The first couple episodes were pretty cool. If it had a slow, middle-ish, first middle-ish half, and then it turned into something very good in these final episodes, the final half of the series. And I felt like a majority of watchers probably dropped this series around episode 3 or 4. When I kind of stopped reviewing it for a week. I feel like majority stopped watching it at that time. And then maybe some of them came back, maybe, they never came back to it. But I feel like the reason why Classroom Crisis may not do so well, may be forgotten in the future, is because many dropped it around episode 3 to 4, because it was rather slow and didn't seem like it was going anywhere with its plot. But yeah, how do you all feel about the final episode of Classroom Crisis? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please be safe. Chibi out.